Okay, Sparkle is here. Well, she's been out for like a couple days now, almost a week. No. She came out on Thursday. She came late. At least for North America, she came out on Thursday. But yeah, anyways, Sparkle is here. She's shaking up the meta. She's everywhere. Everyone's talking about how this little fucking gremlin is cracked and breaks everything, and how she's broken, and all that's true, right? I will be first to admit I was wrong when I first saw Sparkle's like kit and like how she works. I didn't see the actual numbers, but I understood how her kit works, and I actually thought people were just kind of overhyping her, and like how she parked Bronya and how she did all this. And in my head, I was thinking like, she might not be that good. I don't think she's that good, right? And I've said that a couple times. I don't think she's that good. I was wrong. She's that good, right? But here's the thing. That might not be a good thing overall, right? For a couple reasons, right? Because here's the thing. I genuinely believe Sparkle might be benched sooner than you may think on people's accounts. And it's not because she's not good. I think it's because she might be too good, right? And that might be confusing to some people. Like, why the fuck, if she's too good, why wouldn't you just use her? This is just a different perspective I've had, just a different thought. I'm not saying, oh, it's gonna happen. This is just a thought I've had, and I was like, okay, I kind of just want to talk about it. See, I could be wrong, could be right, but this is just a thought I've had, right? And before we continue, I'm gonna preface this. I'm gonna preface this by saying this is not a should you or should you not pull for Sparkle, right? Because I've seen that everywhere. Oh, Sparkle's a must pull. This is a must pull. This is that. Let me tell you something right now. Not a single goddamn character in this game is a must pull. There's not a single character in this game that you need on your account, because I'm telling you right now, 90 to like 96% of the content in this game, you could beat it with fucking Arlon. You could. You 100% could. You don't need all these characters I have. You don't need them. You don't need Silverwolf. You don't need Kafka. You don't need Welts. You don't need any of these fucking characters. All right? You can get them because you want them, but you don't need them, right? So I'm just gonna preface. I'm just prefacing that by saying, like, this is not a should you or should you not pull for Sparkle. This is not this type of video. All right? At the end of the day, if the only characters you should be getting are the characters that you want or the characters you jack off to. Those are the only two reasons why you should be pulling for a character, right? But anyway, with that out of the way, let me just get into it, right? So in order to explain my thought process, right, this is just a thought I've had. In order to understand where I'm coming from, I want to ask this question: what makes the combat in Honkai Star Rail engaging, right? What makes it not fun, engaging? What about the combat specifically? What makes you lock in? You know, like people are like, oh, I need to lock in, right? I need to fucking lock in, get the shit done. I need to fucking like turn off the autoplay and like think about my next, like, what about the combat Honkai Star Rail does that, right? And the thing about Honkai Star Rail is you have to ask the question, like, what brings out the fun in Honkai Star Rail, right? And for like, if we were to compare it to like Genshin, right? When it comes to the combat of Genshin, yes, it's boring. It's not that intuitive, whatever. The thing is, right, when with Genshin, the thing that makes with Genshin, the thing that makes the combat like somewhat engaging is the fact that you're making split-second decisions. You're fighting the enemies. You're trying to decide if you're gonna run left, right, jump, or you're gonna iframe with a dodge. It's the split-second decisioning in the combat in Genshin that makes it somewhat engaging, right? Not all the time, but the point is, it's the action. It's the quick-paced split decision making. Right, or let's say Wuthering Waves or PGR, right? That's probably a better comparison with PGR. How it's split-second decisions of whether you're gonna dodge, whether you're gonna heal, attack, all that, right? The quick actions, that's what makes it engaging, right? But with Honkai Star Rail, it's 2 buttons, it's turn-based. So what makes it engaging? It's the mental, it's the thought process. It's you thinking about the next move. It's you like coming up with 1,000 IQ plays, where like when you're in like MOC 12. And like or maybe not even MLC 12, that might be too easy for some people. Like maybe like Golden Gears Conundrum, and you're trying to think, okay, this dude's about to do this massive attack that'll one-shot me. I don't know, let me figure out, should I use Fushuan skill, all that crap. Like, it's the thought process, right? It's the mental. So like you're in a scenario, right? And you're taking in all the information that you have. You have like the enemy, if they're gonna go next, who's gonna go next, whose buffs are active, whose skills are active, who has debuffed, whose health is lower, who do I need to heal, who do I need to worry about, how many skill points do I have? You're using all that information to determine whether or not you're gonna use a skill point or not, right? That, in my opinion, that's what makes Honkai Star Rail engaging. You're using all that information to determine whether or not you're gonna use your basic or your skill, right? Those are usually, that's kind of how I describe how Hoggetaro is engaging, right? Or the common Hoggetaro is engaging, right? And the thing with Sparkle is, I genuinely believe Sparkle, right? I thought Ruan May would let you do it, not really. Bronya, well, I don't even have fucking Bronya, but Bronya doesn't really let you either because of how much skill points she used. But I think Sparkle is truly the first character in this game that will allow you to Unga Bunga. Like, I think Sparkle is Sparkle is the first character in this game where if you have her, you can turn off your brain and just do whatever, and you can still win, right? I genuinely believe, because I've done it, right? I've done it with most shit in this game.
Were you shocked just now?
With all the content in this game that I've beaten, and some of the content that I couldn't beat. Like, I just beat, for the first time ever, like, it took me what was it? It took me I'm trying to find it. Hold on. Right. Let's go to Simulator Universe. Since the Swarm Disaster came out, I never fucking beat it. Oops. Since Swarm Disaster came out, I never fucking beat it. I beat it the day after I got Sparkle. The day after I got Sparkle, I finally beat Swarm Disaster 5. Right? I didn't beat it ever. But the day after I got Sparkle, I finally beat Swarm Disaster 5. I was shocked. Right? Oops. so like that's just my scenario. That might be true for like most people, but that's just my scenario. But the point is, I think Sparkle is the first character in this game that will allow you to Unga Bunga, right? And I think with Unga Bunga, where you can just turn off your brain and do whatever, it's fun for like the first like month, maybe 2 months, maybe 3 months, depending on who it is. But no one truly wants to just turn off your brain and then just do whatever in a video game. You want to like, it's the like adrenaline. It's the difficulty in games that make it more satisfying to beat, right? That's why people have been saying, oh, we need more difficult content in Genshin. We need more difficult content in Hoggetaro. It's because the difficult content is the more fun. It's the more satisfying content to beat, right? When the shit is difficult and the shit is hard to do, it makes it more fun, right? At least for most people. Some people just want to play Animal Crossing, and that's fine. That's fine. But it's like for most people, it's the difficult content, right? Right? Like for me, right? This is gonna be a bit of a tangent, but for me, my favorite game is Doom Eternal, because that shit was hard. Fucking Ultra Nightmare on Doom Eternal was fucking hard, right? I still haven't beat Ultra Nightmare on Doom Eternal, but I beat Nightmare, and like it was so hard because of how fast paced it was and split second decisioning. It was like the whole world just didn't exist other than me playing Doom Eternal. That's the type of gameplay and content that like that's the type of like difficulty that I feel like games should strive for, the type of engaging gameplay that games should strive for, right? Where the whole world just turns off and you're just locked in the game, right? So that was a bit of a tangent, but that was just me trying to explain my thought process, right? So the thing with Unga Bunga, where you can just turn off your brain, it's fun for a little while, but at some point you're gonna be like, nah, I don't want to do that anymore because I want to have fun, right? So I genuinely believe people are going to start saying, I don't use Sparkle because she makes the game too easy, right? That's just an idea, just thought process, right? It may not happen. It may happen, it may not happen. Who knows, right? But another issue that occurs with how good Sparkle is because, so right now, there's only what's it called? Right now, there's only about like 5-ish. We got Sparkle, Bronya, Ting Yun, Yukong, Hanya, and Ruan Mei, right? Ruan Mei, Sparkle, Bronya, Ting Yun, Hanya, and Yukong. All right, so that's about six. We only have about 6 Harmony characters in the game. But let's keep it fucking for real. No one's using Wukong. No one's using Yukong, and no one's using Hanya, right? That's the truth. No one's using Yukong, using Hanya, right? So realistically, people are only using Ting Yun, Sparkle, Ruan Mei, Hu Tao. Not Hu Tao, not Hu Tao. I was looking at Sparkle, I just thought Hu Tao. I don't know why. I mean, she looks like Hu Tao. But anyways, those are realistically the only characters that the Harmony characters people are using, right? Now, if you have Bronya, let's say out of the Ruan Mei, Sparkle, Bronya, Ting Yun, right? Let's say out of those 4 characters, right? Let's say out of those 4 characters, you have at least 2 of them. Let's say you have Bronya, let's say you have Sparkle. Let's say you have Bronya, let's say you have Sparkle, right? And because Tingyun's a 4-star, you probably have Tingyun. She's been on a lot of banners. So out of those 4, you probably have at least 3 of them, right?
Were you shocked?
That's just assuming. There could be an account that has none of them, and if you do, fucking, I'm sorry. I feel sorry for you, but it is what it is. Let's say, assuming you have Tingyun, and let's say you have at least Bronya, and like a Ruame, or even let's take out Ruame. Let's say you have Tingyun and Bronya, right? And you're sitting here thinking you're gonna get Sparkle, right? If you get Sparkle and you have Sparkle, Ruame, Tingyun, do you really need any other Harmony character? Like, are you actually, like, this is for people who are like more free to play, and you're like thinking, you're trying to be more like prudent with your Stellar Jades. If you have Tingyun, Sparkle, and Bronya, who else could they release that will be better than Sparkle? Like, at this, like, as a Harmony character, who could they release that'll be better than Sparkle, right? Right? Because with Bronya, I remember I said Bronya would be very hard to power creep because Bronya was just really good. She had her faults, like she was very skill point hungry. She was very skill point hungry, and she had her faults. But I thought she was so good that like it'd be very hard to power creep her. I remember I said, like, if they power creep Bronya, that character would have to be fucking insanely broken. There you go, Exhibit A. You have fucking Sparkle.
Were you shocked?
So it's like, where do we go from here? How would you power creep Sparkle? Like, what character could they release that would power creep Sparkle? Like, that's just another idea I've had with how, like, that's like another perspective I had with how good Sparkle is. It's like, because I'm telling you right now, I have Ruanmei, I have Tingyun, and now I have Sparkle, right? And I still don't have Bronya, but because she's part of the standard banner, eventually I'll get her. Hopefully. I don't know. This game just doesn't want to give me her for some reason. I have E1 of every of those standard banner characters, but not fucking Bronya. But anyways, that's just me being salty. But anyways, I know eventually I'll get Bronya because she's on the standard banner, right? So if I do get Bronya and I have Ruanmei, I have Sparkle, and I have Tingyun, I have no want to pull for any other Harmony character. Because in order for me to pull for a character, they have to be better than Sparkle. And then if they release a character that's better than Sparkle, that'd be like the king or queen of Unga Bunga. Like, I don't think, like, how could they come up with a character that'd be better than Sparkle? That's just my opinion, right? So because of that, they're like, why else would you pull for them? Obviously, people are going to still pull for them because, you know, they're probably going to be hot and they're like, oh, I want this character to step on me. But I'm just thinking of the mind of somebody who's trying to be a little bit more prudent with their Stellar Jade, right? That's just another perspective I've had, right? Because this is genuinely like, this is gonna be a reference a lot of people aren't gonna recognize in this community. Like, this is probably a reference a lot of people aren't gonna understand. But this is reminiscent of, like, to anybody who plays Rainbow Six Siege, right? To everybody who plays Rainbow Six Siege, remember like back in like year 3, I think like year 2 or year 3, when Lion first came out and how broken that guy was. Like, that guy was so broken, he had a 100% pick rate in the pro league. Like, the fucking professional gamers, right? The esports dudes were picking him 100% of the time because of how broken he was. That's the feeling I'm kind of getting with Sparkle, right? Where she's going to be used so much to beat all the harder content. And then once you do that, it's like, she's gonna be there for Unga Bunga, and it's just, you know, it's gonna cause a lot of monotony in my opinion. Like, because with a game like Honkai Star Rail, where there's only like 2 buttons, when you have a character that allows you to just not use those 2 buttons, it's gonna get boring eventually, right? There's gonna become a time where you're just like, okay, I'm not gonna use Sparkle because she makes the game too easy. I'm gonna use Hanya, or Sparkle makes the game too easy, so I'm actually gonna build Hanya and use her instead. So that way I can have a challenge, right? That's just a different thought process that people might have with after using Sparkle for a little while, right? That's just the thought process, right?
The time I spent with sister.
So once again, I could 100% be wrong, but this is just an idea I've had. This is just an idea I've had since Sparkle came out, and how I've used her and like how crazy she was, and yeah, that's just a different perspective I've had, right? Could be wrong, could be 100% wrong, but it's just a thought I've had, an idea. And, you know, who knows? Maybe in the future, people, well, definitely in the future, people are still going to use her because you probably spent money to get her. I didn't, so get fucked. I actually got Sparkle completely by accident. I just did a 10 pull. I don't even remember what pity I was at. What pity was I at when I got Sparkle? So I was at was that 3? It's gonna go 8, 13, 28, 33, 38, 43, 45. I was a 45 pity when I got Sparkle, so I got her really fucking early. All right. So yeah. So get fucked for all the people who had to spend money on her. I didn't lose the 50-50 on Sparkle. I lost it on Black Swan. So yeah. But yeah, it is what it is. That's just a different I don't know, just the thought I've had. It's nothing concrete. This is not me saying you should or shouldn't pull for her. It's just an idea I had. This is a thought that occurs in my head where Sparkle is the first character, at least in my opinion, that truly allows you to Unga Bunga. And that might not be a good thing, because I feel like people are just going to stop using her eventually because she allows Unga Bunga, right? Because they're going to be like, oh, well, Sparkle makes the game this easy, you know, maybe I'll try Hanya because Hanya is not as good, so she'll make the content harder, right? She'll give me more of a challenge because Hanya is not as good, right? That's just a thought I've had about how people might use her. I could be wrong, 100% could be wrong, but that's just my opinion, right? I just wanted to make this video as an open discussion to be like, oh, hey, you know, like Sparkle might be really fucking good. No, she might. She's not. It's not. She might. She is really fucking good, but she might be too good, right? That's just an idea I've had just for an open discussion. Obviously, could be wrong. I'm willing to talk. Obviously, I'm willing to talk about it here. Criticisms. But yeah, that's just my opinion, right? But yeah, that's basically it. Fucking, I want you guys to fucking mutilate that subscribe button. Oh my god, I can't believe I just did that.